Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
So, welcome to a new episode of the Fit the Description podcast. I'm your host, G, and today we got B.
What's up, y'all?
And I'm not sure if anybody else is going to come in, but I had to do this podcast today because we had to do an emergency podcast because some really big news came out. But before that, I just want to let y'all know, shout out to y'all over there in Rumbleland. Thank y'all for checking us out. Shout out to y'all over there on all the other podcast platforms. Thank you for checking us out too. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for watching our stuff. I know we were going through a crazy time. I know we had to take a break, but we are back. But as of right now, where you can find us at, you can find us on all podcast platforms. You can find us over there on Rumble. And all additional links will be down in the description below. Sorry, like I said, this intro is a little bit different. I know if you've heard the last podcast, you understand why.
Okay. I'm back again.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, now I want you to hear me say this. I want to get your opinion on that. Opinion. That's literally what I'm talking about right now. It's opinions. There's a lot of people that have opinions that shouldn't have a mic, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I kind of disagree. I'm a firm believer, everybody has a right to have their opinion. I have no issue with people having an opinion. But with an opinion, you also got to understand that I have a right to criticize your opinion and tell you when you're wrong, That's always been my belief system. I don't care if you have an opinion. I mean, yeah, maybe on the extreme examples, but I don't know if I would call that opinion as much as maybe an incitement or whatever.
Right.
But to me, everybody has a right to have a bad opinion. Everybody has a right to have a good opinion or a bad opinion, and I have a right to say your opinion is crap.
Right.
Vice versa for me. Listen to any episodes on the podcast. All the times when we don't agree with opinions, we call each other out.
Right.
At least from time to time when we want to. Sometimes people hold back. I can kind of tell when some people do. For the most part, for the majority of the time, yeah, if we disagree, we say, hey, I disagree.
Right.
I don't know where else you're gonna go. I don't know where else you're gonna go, but I know here, again, we try, at least I try my best to make sure that we don't have an echo chamber. I really do.
Exactly.
But yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, so for the most part, everyone should have an opinion, Yeah, I mean, as long as that they keep things as like an opinion, right? I just so for instance, like when you have to know things that's actually truth and factual, opinions don't work. But that's not that we're not that type of podcast right now,
Even though, don't get it twisted. I'll admit, I'll say we definitely do share facts. We definitely do share facts and newswords, so we definitely do tell truth. Let me let you finish because I'm about to get into a great area. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, but yeah. I mean, and so having an opinion is just put the thought out there, right? You can take it. You can take it for what it is to add more to the conversation. You can take and do research or whatever, right? It's just putting the thoughts out there. But for the people who, but of course, there's some extreme, like you said earlier. There's some people who's extreme with it, and they didn't have a long track record of being reckless, which those are the type of people that people remember, and they look at us all as that type of person that's caused the chaos. But for the most part, what I like about this podcast, now we have an opinion, but we don't have to deal with this host that act like a know-it-all, right? Constantly cutting you off or will drop you because they can't argue your talking points or whatever. We haven't had none of that. Like everybody has been respectful. It gets heated, right, at times. But for the most part, we all have been respectful, and we all wanted to come back the next episode, and we're chilled, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And like I said, I'm not gonna act like
uh,
I'm better than anybody else. I have my moments where I kind of lost it a little bit. I don't know if I don't think I put
yeah,
it in
yeah,
the podcast. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some of me where I definitely went at it. You know, there's a very good one that's not even the entire conversation because that was supposed to be for Patreon. But there's a good one between
right.
me and Keith that you could find that we did earlier that we went at it all. Oh yeah, that got heated. You know, I'm kind of glad how this worked out. You know,
Right.
I am happy with it. I love having a rotating cast, man. Like I really, I feel like I've been really lucky. Heck, I'll even say even blessed that to get the people that we had on here. You know,
Right.
like because I feel like we really have a really great crew. And going back to the opinion conversation, I mean, again, we don't just do opinions on here. We also give our advice. We also give our belief system. Like we talk about all kinds of stuff. You know, it's a podcast based around opinions. But like I said, sometimes this is what I was saying. I was getting to the gray area. Sometimes we do talk about facts. And the thing is, and this is one thing that you have to understand with it being an opinion podcast. Some people, are only going to say things based on the knowledge that they have. So they might not know things,
Right.
and so their truths can change.
Right.
There's been a couple of times on this podcast, even I've gotten things wrong. I've been called out plenty of times on this podcast, but there's plenty of times where I've heard people outside of me. No, I'm not saying I'm bigger than anybody else on this podcast, but there's plenty of people I've heard that have literally straight up got it 110% wrong. I'm like, where did you get that from? Yeah, no, and there's been plenty of times where I or somebody else had, we talk about a subject and then they'll say something else and then we'll go off topic. That's very common on this podcast. Very common. It's very easy for us to get off topic. Very quickly too. It happens when you least expect it. It happens all the time. But but that's how conversations go sometimes,
Right.
Like I said, I try. I mean, I know it's my job as a moderator, as a host, as a moderator to kind of control that. And I'm not always going to sit there and say I do the best job of that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I'm the greatest host. No, I definitely have my faults, but sometimes it's just hard for me to do that because I just like where the conversation's going, and I just want to see where it goes sometimes. So even I have fun just like sitting back. I just want to say, all right, I want to know where this is gonna go.
All right.
One thing that you don't know, and B would tell you, like there's been a couple of times, like those times when you don't hear me, sometimes I'm off doing other things. That's the truth. There's actually one particular podcast that none of these guys know about that actually left. Went to go get food and came back. I'm not even gonna lie, because I had to go get dinner. So I bounced. They kept talking. I came back. Yeah, I was gone for that entire time. But the goal of this year, I was supposed to take 2 episodes off, and that didn't happen. so I'm making it. I'm making it my goal next year to take 2 podcasts off and let somebody else host it. You already got a preview of that with Adam, where we let Adam host the episode. That was definitely a different one and definitely entertaining. And the goal was, and I'll just put it out there, B was supposed to host an episode this year. And I was supposed to be gone for it. And that didn't happen. That's why I said there was a lot of stuff that y'all don't know that happened behind the scenes where it kind of had me keep coming back. It's not that I'm trying to micromanage, because I take that back. I wasn't here for the April Fool's episode, and I didn't want to be there because I just wanted the ladies to take over and just let them do them. And it was our best podcast, Shout out to the ladies. I mean, I don't have an ego. I mean, if anything, I appreciate that they came on because they did not have to come on.
Right.
So I'm very, very grateful. I'll always say, shout out to them. I'm definitely grateful for y'all coming on and taking over the podcast, and I was able to have a break, so that was nice.
Right.
But definitely, no matter what, my goal is for next year, I will be taking 2 episodes off for sure. Hopefully, we could find a date for them to take it over, and they could run it, and I ain't gotta be here. So again, we had a trial one with Adam, and Adam, it was definitely funny, definitely interesting. But I really do next year want to take a break. I really want to take advantage of this. But like I said, we're so close to the end. We only got like 2, maybe 3 more episodes left if we want to do a third one. But we've only got like 2 episodes left. So there's really no point. Really no point not being here for the last couple of episodes,
Right.
So, I'm going to be here to the end of this year. And then next year, I mean, I'll talk to B probably off the podcast and we could figure out what day or what week or what month he will want to take over and do some episodes, or at least do one episode. So,
All right.
because I mean, it was nice when I had breaks. I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes I do need to get away from the podcast, but I would say that the April Fool's one was nice because I didn't have to be
there. Right.
I still had to edit, but I did have to be there, so that was nice.
Right. Allergies, you guys. Allergies.
Oh yeah, I've been having them bad this year myself.
Yeah, man. Oh, hopefully it's a lot better next year.
Yeah, dude, we're in October. I'm still having bad allergies.
Exactly.
I've been sneezing this entire time. I'm like, man.
Exactly.
Anyways, I think we spoke enough on the podcast. I mean, again, like I said, this is a podcast. Understand, there's nothing really planned for this episode. I want to make sure that people understand that. I mean, normally a lot of episodes like I know we have things planned, but then it just goes off the rails. That's what normally happens.
Exactly.
For most podcasts. But this one in particular, like when we have podcasts like these, there's no plan. We're just talking, and so that's what this one is. This is just talking, saying we're back here on YouTube. I'm glad to be back, but we want to make sure to address it to let y'all know that we're back. We are back, and
exactly.
Like I said, we don't plan on going nowhere. I definitely have a goal that I want to hit, and I'm not going to tell you that right now. You're going to have to wait. But once I hit that goal, I'm going to go ahead and go back. It depends on which goal I hit, but depending on the goal I hit, I'm going to go ahead and come back to with everybody. We're going to have a conversation. But if I hit the other goal I want to hit, then yeah, we're going to get running. So we're going to keep this thing running. We're going to keep growing. So again, like I said, this podcast is done. Again, like I said, we're totally open to opinions. That's why, going back, I do want to say this one more time. I know I said this earlier, but I want to go back to the community that we are trying to foster is that we want to be able to have a community where, we could definitely have civil discourse down there, of course, not go too crazy, but we want to be able to have a conversation and opinions. And also, even on the podcast, if we say something wrong, make sure to let us know. Depending on how you say it matters, but if you say it in the right way. Again, I said it before, I'll say it one more time here, since we're so far into the podcast, that make sure to leave your comments down below. I'm definitely going to pay more attention now to Rumble also. So please make sure to leave your comments down below. If you have anything you want to say, anything you want to add. Again, if it's depending on what you say, we may read it on the podcast. If it's a really good comment, we may make a topic out of it. And if it's like a great comment, but we may invite you onto the channel to have a conversation with one of us or with all of us. It just depends on the situation. So again, remember, we're an opinionated podcast. We may get things wrong, so make sure to do your own research. We're not perfect, but we do the best that we can. But at the end of the day, remember, we're an opinionated podcast, not a fact based. We're not a news network. Even though we definitely do talk news, which actually I got an article that I just heard about last night. I'm going to ask B about it right now. But yeah. That's about it. That's all I really want to say about the podcast. Again, we're just going over things, just talking, just chopping it up. And, I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad to be back here on YouTube. And I'm glad it also gave me a time to check out Rumble and discover Rumble too. So we're definitely going to be there also. And yeah, again, like I said, we ain't going nowhere. We're still going to be here.
We ain't going nowhere, you guys.
Yep.
No. Be here long enough to let the next gen run the show.
Yep. That'd be cool.
Yeah. True. That'd be awesome.
But speaking of news, I just heard about this literally last night. At least of the record of this podcast, I heard about this last night. Did you hear about Dwight Howard?
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Dwight Howard.
Oh, I've been talking this whole entire time. I need to get some water, so I'm gonna let you start this off.
Yep. Well, I called it. I don't know if I called it on the podcast, but I've been saying this whole time this guy is suspect, but what really sealed the deal was when that mysterious figure of a person came out a few years ago saying that Dwight Howard was clientele.
Yeah, I
You know.
remember that. That's all. Like, what the heck?
And then right after that, Dwight Howard was out for the season with a butt injury. Not too long after that accusation, Dwight Howard was out for the rest of the season with a butt injury. That was well too perfectly timed, bro. Well too perfectly timed. I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's suspect. But then throughout the years, you will hear you will hear rumors about Dwight Howard, paying for them for a night of fun, to be escorted, right?
Yep, he'll pay for
But
escorts basically.
yeah, but all there's really no clear evidence, right? Although all that stuff is rumor
Yep.
until until today's news, where Dwight Howard admitted that he pretty much played on that side of the field.
Yeah, and again, man, I mean, I'll say it like this, man. He would have been better off just coming out with it.
Pretty much.
Like seriously. Like if I was
Pretty
Dwight
much.
Howard and I really was that way, I would just been like, yeah, this is what I am. Because at least if you come out, you will probably have a lot of credibility and a lot of people to back you up. Like he would have been better off just saying, hey, this is what I am.
Exactly.
This is how I roll. Would have probably would have had a career right now.
Right. Especially during that time period when that topic was a lot more hotter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude would have been probably one of the biggest, because remember he was a superstar.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, if he would have, oh man, that dude would have been huge.
Man, that was a
Dude
fact.
because there was that who was it? There was that one NBA player that came out and like nobody really cared. I don't even remember his name. I don't remember his name because I don't even think he was that good of a player.
The leader.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember he came out and nobody cared. But instead of Dwight Howard just saying, hey, yo, man, this is what I'm about, he decided to, nah, it's a rumor. I'm not about that. And I get it. I'm hey, man, whatever you want to do in your bedroom, it's your business. I ain't mad, but,
Yeah, man. I mean, I think at this point everyone had that ideal, man, that he played on that side of the fence.
I mean, there were rumors. There were definitely rumors. And, again, like, there were some outrageous rumors. Not going to lie. But, man, the fact that it came out, oh, gee, like, go ahead.
And I wish he would have came out from the beginning. So maybe it would encourage all these other hiding fools to come out and finally admit that, they play on that side too. And a lot of y'all rappers and sport athletes, yeah, just come out. Come out. Do us all a favor. Come out.
I don't really agree with that. Like I said, I'm all for if you don't want to share with nobody, that's your business. That had nothing to do with me. But I will say this: you're better off. I mean, again, I just said it. If Dwight Howard had came out and not hit it, that dude would have probably been in the NBA today.
Oh yeah,
easily. Still making millions.
And damn, it would have been they'd be saying he's one of the top centers that ever played the game and everything else. Still,
pretty much.
No,
it would be a great representative. So, but again, I mean, again, now everybody gonna have to look at this dude like, man, like understand like that guy's career will probably never be the same.
Nah,
like ever. His legacy probably will never be the same anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty much a wrap. It's pretty much a wrap at this point.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, at least he came out and admitted it, but it was too late.
Well, he didn't come out and admit it. It was a court case. They kind of forced him.
Oh yeah.
So no, don't act like this dude came out and was like, "Hey, yo, this is what I am." Nah. That's not what happened at all.
Oh, okay. Because I saw this, he admitted it.
Well, yeah, because from my understanding, it was a court case.
Okay.
And because basically from what I read, basically somebody came out and said, okay, the story is crazy. Man, let me read the story, man. I gotta get facts with this because the story's crazy. Okay, this is the best one that I could find that's on a notable website, although like the one I heard was a lot more the details were sounded a little more crazy. Former NBA star Dwight Howard decides sexual assault lawsuit filed by a Georgia man. So here it goes. Dwight Howard has denied accusation by a Georgia man who says he was sexually assaulted by the former NBA star and another person. I won't say his name, but the guy filed a state civil suit against Howard in July, alleging assault and battery and false imprisonment and an intentional infliction of emotional distress. In a response filed this week by his attorney, Howard described the 2021 encounter at his home in the Atlanta suburbs as consensual and requested that the case be dismissed. Harper's Law, my fault. The lawsuit says he met Howard through Instagram and they exchanged explicit text messages before arranging to meet at Howard's home on July 19th, 2021. While on his way to the house, he says Howard texted him to ask if another man or woman could join in their planned sexual encounter. He says he told Howard he was not interested. Once at Howard's home, he claims that they were joined by a man dressed as a woman who identified only as Kitty. The man said he tried to resist the two men, but Howard and Kitty forced him to part. He said he tried to resist the two men, but Howard and Kitty forced him to participate in the sexual activity. All right. So the guy said he was trapped in Howard's bedroom and believed that he would suffer intimate bodily harm if he resisted the defendant's sexual advances. Afterwards, he felt extremely violated and humiliated. Oh my God, I can't say the word.
Humiliated.
Thank you. And was in complete shock. Howard denied the allegations in his response, which says the three men agreed to engage in consensual sexual activity. And he asked for a summary judgment with the court, costs and attorney fees to be assessed against him. So that's all the stuff that matters.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to see it, y'all can read it on for yourself. But
hey, he said it's consensual.
The dude said it's not.
No, but I would say that means he wanted it to happen.
Oh yeah, on Howard's side. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. That was a crazy story.
Yeah, shit.
I just can't get over the fact that he said he had a dude dressed up as a woman named Kitty. Oh wow.
Oh, stupid.
It would be a guy.
Wait, so his partner that was another dude too, right?
Yes. So the other guy, so basically it was him, the dude that's suing Dwight Howard, and a man in a dress named Kitty.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, Dwight Howard, he's deep in this, huh?
Right. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I just can't get over the man in the dress named Kitty.
Oh, that was horrible. Oh. Oh man.
See, I don't know. I don't want to throw anything out there. Put it like this. I guarantee you probably will never hear Shaq talk about Dwight Howard again.
Yeah. Yeah. Dwight Howard, he has no rights to talk about it. He can't say he's Superman no more.
No, he can still say he's Superman. It's just now there's now new windows with that name. That's all it is. That's all that it is now. Just windows.
He can call himself Superman's son.
Oh yeah,
He can't call himself
that is true. That is true. That is true. It's true.
Oh man.
Oh, oh man. Hey man. Oh no, man. I mean, that's a crazy story. That sounds messy to me. I don't want no part of it.
Nah, I'm good. He's on his own with that one.
Yeah, I'll put like this. His legacy will never be the same. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I'll still give him props for being a great center. But
Yeah. I'm not gonna take away from what he did on the court,
exactly.
but what you do outside, nah, I can't. Nah, I can't.
Oh man. Yeah, that this is a crazy story, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, the NBA started yesterday.
Huh?
The NBA started yesterday.
Speaking of that, dude, I mean, I wanted to talk about this with Keith, but since he ain't here, dude, have you seen Victor? What you call it? Wemby? I don't even know how to say his name yet.
Dude, he's ridiculous, bro.
Oh my god, that dude is freaking. Oh, I've never seen nobody like him.
Ever.
I can honestly say that. I've never seen a player like him. That guy is scary. He does way too much.
I'm still looking at his highlights. like I'm looking at how is this even possible?
Dude, like
how is he this good?
Don't get me wrong. I saw his games. Like I saw his games before he entered the NBA. I'm like, oh man, this dude is trouble. But now that I'm seeing him and how tall he is, unless injuries, if that dude,
he's gonna be. Go ahead. Sorry.
If that dude winds up getting like a body like Giannis, holy crap,
dude, he's a serious problem. Serious.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Iron, go ahead.
I mean, the fact, not only is he showing elite defense, but the fact that he is so offensively good, bro. Like he got the post moves. He can shoot over
No, he doesn't have the post moves. That's probably the one place where he's weak ass post moves. But he can't score on the post.
Well, he don't have the post moves when he comes backing down people. But he has the post move because he has the footwork for the post moves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He could score in the post. but he doesn't have the post move yet. He got like there's a couple of things where he needs to develop, and part of that he also needs to get strength too. Like his two biggest weaknesses is that he just needs strength, and he doesn't really have the best post game yet. But no, he can he score in the post? Absolutely. The way that dude moves, holy crap!
Right. And I'm just like, I hope Greg Popovich allowed this kid to play.
Honestly,
huh?
Honestly, and I'll agree with Shaq. He's probably with the best coach he's probably in the best system that he could be in.
Oh yeah, no, hands down, yeah.
Like that dude called it alley-oop from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
he called it alley-oop from the 3-point line. Man, did you see that?
Yeah. Like I said, he hasn't even played a season game yet, bro. This is the crazy thing. He has not played one season game yet, bro. We just saw some summer league highlights, some preseason game highlights, maybe some overseas highlights. But he has not played one full NBA game yet. And look what he's doing.
I mean, man, his defense, just defense alone. Have you seen him?
That's what I'm saying. He's blocking guys like it's nothing.
He's blocking 3-point shooters like it's nothing.
It's nothing.
I mean, where other people can't get those blocks, he has a great first step. Like, this is the thing about him. He's not fast. He's not fast at all. But he has a long stride and he's quick.
Right.
That is pure. His reaction time is crazy.
Very. And he's quick to recover too.
That's why I said he's totally quick.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh man, I've never seen a center that could recover. Like like usually time, like if a center jumps, like he this is pretty much an easy score, But this guy, he can jump and he recovers so quickly. They pan out to the 3-point line, and that dude takes 2 steps, and he's right there to block it.
I wouldn't even call him a center. He's actually probably a power forward.
Well, that's why they got him playing as power forward.
Yeah, but he's just super tall. Like, you know what he is?
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly who he is. He is a Kevin Durant mixed with Dirk, is what he is.
Pretty much.
He is a Kevin Durant mixed with Dirk. He has a 3. It's not consistent, but he does have a 3.
Mm-hmm.
He is quick. He's not fast, but he's quick. He has long strides. Right. His reaction time is crazy. His defense, his defense alone is
perfect. Right.
He definitely needs to bulk up. He's too skinny. That's why I'm afraid of him catching an injury right now.
Right.
Because he's really, really small. He's really just too skinny. But if that dude bulks up and gets some real muscle mass, when he gets stronger, you ain't gonna be able to stop him.
Yeah.
Because he has an inside, he has an outside, he has a 3. His arms are long. He could get a lot of steals than all the players can. He could block shots. He's probably the only dude that could actually say could probably block 3s.
Right. I don't think I ever see like Klay Thompson. I never see him got blocked like that.
Yeah.
No, of course he got blocked, but not like that. Like he's a child. I've never seen that, bro.
That dude,
and he does. Yeah, he does it with ease, man. With the greatest of ease. And I never see a player that is so damn impactful on the court, bro. he just has to be there, and he's affecting the game, bro.
I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say San Antonio is going to win a championship anytime. Okay, I can say 3 years. I think 3 years they could start competing. Honestly, if he keeps getting better, the big thing is if he gets stronger.
Right.
If he gets stronger, that's all he really needs to do. I mean, yeah, he needs to work on his post game, but that could come later.
Right.
But and yeah, his offense could also do a lot more. But it's like, that dude's already. It's because of his height.
Right.
His height, it's just I've never seen a guy like him.
Exactly.
Like he's brand new.
Exactly. And he's only like 19 too?
Yes, he's only 19.
Oh.
So he ain't even growing into his man body yet.
Exactly.
So that dude still got he still got a lot of growing to do. He still got a lot of that. I'm telling you that as long as he doesn't get injured, he is scary. Let him get a body like Giannis. Holy crap, you won't be able to stop him.
Exactly.
If he gets a body like Giannis, holy crap.
Yeah, that. Oh, even just a little bit close to it, man. He's on his potential is I can't remember right now. His potential is in a league of his own. There's no players like him.
There's no players that's like him.
Yeah, he literally is the league of his own right now.
He really is.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't catch any injuries, oh yeah.
Right.
And as long as he's dedicated to the game, oh yeah.
Right.
You better pray he doesn't have a Kobe mentality. If he gets like a Kobe, Giannis, Michael Jordan, any of those kind of mentalities, oh, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, How does San Antonio keep doing this shit?
Right?
Where do they keep finding these damn players from?
The two teams are it seems like Dallas is just a team of international players.
Yeah.
Dallas, not Dallas, I mean Texas. Texas is like the king of international players. They always get great international players.
Right.
But yeah,
and the international players, man, they're hungry, bro. I mean, look who's been with. Giannis won a championship. What was it? No, the Joker. I can't think of his name right now.
Uh-huh.
He won last year, international. Look who's coming into the league, man. Yeah, these players, they're hungry, man. They ain't no joke, bro. Yeah, watch out for international players. While we got all these crybaby players like James Harden and Ben Simmons just out here just crying. They're gonna be kicked out the league pretty soon, bro. Shoot. Those top players are gonna be kicked out the league. All of LeBron James ceilings.
It's kind of like me and Keith were kind of talking about this, and I brought up the fact that we were talking about Harden, where I was like Kobe was right, but the other thing like Kobe said, and I forgot exactly how the question went, but basically he was saying he was like AAU and the way they're developing players, sooner or later the international guys are going to start taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And like Kobe said, a lot of it has to do with AAU. And now mind you, I've never really watched AAU basketball, but I've heard some of the things they said, particularly Kobe. And Kobe said, yeah, those guys are really messing up the league. That's my fault. The way they're teaching the kids, from what he's saying,
right,
is messing up the league.
Right.
That's what he said.
Right. Because, well, they're teaching those kids how to operate in professional settings, which all sports is scripted in some type of way, right? So they're teaching them how to play within the script, but the problem is that it takes away the freedom of free learning, right? It takes away all those extra skills that you want to strive for to try to make it to the league, right? Before in the old days, before they even went to college, it's like, okay, man, I gotta learn this, I gotta learn that, I gotta learn this, get all the skill set needed to make it to the college. Then at the college level, that's when they start teaching you how to be a professional in, and teaching them how to operate within the NBA. And back then, it started on the college level. Now, starting on the high school level, or even before that, where they're just telling kids, "Oh, you gotta focus on just shooting 3 pointers and looking flat and looking nice on the court, right? You
So,
got,
so the thing is, this is one thing I'll say is you're right, but I think the way you're describing it is kind of a little bit incorrect. From my understanding, from what I was told, it's like they do favoritism and they just focus on athletic and like being stars and the stuff that you're good at, but they're not teaching the kids fundamentals. They're not teaching them, how
yeah,
to play the game, how to play the game right. I would say I think you got it right. I personally just don't like the way you're describing it.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking on the fly. I was trying to,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a better word to say, a way to say it, but it wasn't coming out. But
Yeah.
what you just said is 100% right. You know, they're trying to teach them how to be stars. They're not teaching them all the fundamentals. They're teaching them how to be Showtime, but
Yeah.
they they they, they lack a lot of skill.
they're having them
They're
rely more on
lacking
their athleticism instead like you
exactly,
said, learning how to play.
exactly.
Like
Like these kids don't. Real quick,
yeah,
these
go
kids
go.
don't know like the basics of defense.
Well, they don't play
You
defense no
know,
more.
exactly.
But
But you gotta have that because what they say, defense wins championships. All right, defensive rebounding that's what really wins the championships. But
yeah.
these kids can't even do the basic defense. That's why certain star players like Harden, he constantly getting creamed in the playoffs. You
That's what it
know,
was. That's what my fault. That's what it was. We were talking about USA basketball and the
hmm
fact that they lost.
right,
That's what we were talking about because that's where the conversation came up where they weren't being developed right, which I don't think. I mean, I'll kind of redact that a little bit and say I don't think that was the reason. Yeah, I think I do agree that the NBA didn't really send their best, but it does seem like the kids are not being developed, I guess, with fundamentals correctly. So
right,
now that's why they're saying the world is catching up. Because the
right,
thing is, like when you go over to play FIBA, I mean, it's true, you're playing like a different game because the problem is now, like, I think they said back in the day, the world had to play the NBA's game. Now,
right,
because with all the rules change, it's now flipping, and now you're playing FIBA's game. So what the NBA used to be is now FIBA's games now. Like that's why they're saying like the world is catching up and the talent pool's getting better. I mean, it doesn't help that you
right,
have these young kids when they're teenagers playing with grown men in professional leagues. That definitely helps. But it's also that
right,
they're playing with fundamentals where I guess out here we're being developed, like I was saying before, with athleticism and just natural talent, but not learning fundamental. Like there's definitely something special. I do believe that it should happen where even if you can dunk, you should have to, you should have a practice where you can use your athletic. You have to play below the rim
hmm
because that's where you really learn a lot of
hmm
those fundamentals is playing below the rim.
hmm
So because of that
And
flashy stuff, Mappa, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say, and also playing with these high schoolers, yeah, they're playing a lot more basketball too, a lot. So by the time they get into the league, their body's already old,
But
and
okay, you see, but that's kind of being some of that is kind of being it's kind of being questioned because they're saying if that was the case, then how is it the fact that older players can play as many games as they did and play as hard as they did and they have no injuries, where the players of today they get injured all the time, and that's something that they're trying to figure out, like why is it happening? Because you can have older players like all those older guys that will play full seasons and won't have any injuries. They may play hurt, but they won't be out. But now today, they like most players can't even make it through a full season.
yeah, I was thinking, do you think they're doing too much when it comes to training?
So, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you take over for a second because I gotta get something out the door. So one of the theories that I saw it on an online video, which makes a lot of sense, is that there's been so much development in their bodies, like in these players' bodies, because they're able to do things that you weren't even allowed to do, and they're pushing their body so much to the limit that they're just naturally getting injured because your body's not supposed to work like that. So, like the way you cut, like the way a lot of these players cut, you ain't supposed to be doing all that.
Right.
So you're basically playing at a high level, but pushing your body very, very far. Back then, and that's what they say, back in the day, you had really set positions,
Right.
So now it's like you're having players to play really over what's it called? I can't think of the right word, but overextending themselves and extending their body.
Right.
And so when you're doing that, and just the game has developed, and so players are getting faster and just moving a lot faster, and just like the way they tip, the more athleticism. So they're just doing so much that now, after so much of that, your body just give out and just start to shut down. And they're also showing that because even when you have players rest, there doesn't seem to be a decrease in injuries. So there's something going on. I don't really know what it is. Some people, one of the theories I heard is that it's just that the game has gotten so fast and these players can do too much that you just overextend your body and it's just bound to get an injury. I don't know. Because again, you have some of the best technology of how to keep your bodies together. Look at LeBron James. Mind you, I don't think anybody wants to spend $2 million keeping your body together.
Right.
But LeBron James pays $2 million to keep his body together.
Right.
Or was it like $1 million? It's either $1 million or $2 million a year.
Right.
Just so you can play at a high level, which is crazy, but it works.
And that's why, we play. These guys are playing the same on the athletic level, but that's and they're scoring a lot of points and all this other, but the downside the downside is to that is, like you said, they're working their bodies too hard, and that's where I think when it comes to we need to slow down the speed of the league just a little bit, and that's where the whole half court offense, half court defense, and actually playing defense. That's what they actually did, to slow down the game. It gave it gives the team time to control the pace and relax a little bit. I think a lot of these teams, the coaches and the point guard, pretty much, they're not doing a good job at regulating the pace of the game to slow it down to give they don't know when to give the to have their teammates catch the breather. There's only a few coaches like Greg Popovich who's masterful at controlling the tempo of the game and understanding and knowing when to rest players and knowing the stamina of the players. There's not a lot of guys who are coaches or even point guards who's on that type of level. We're just a little bit too fast today. We're pushing the boundaries of these players a little bit too far now. I think the game just needs to slow down and get back to basics. That's why having the post game was so important. That's why defense was so important. That's why, under having your footwork, mastering your footwork and having the mid range shot down, all those things were important to slow the game down and to pace the game. Man, everyone just run up and down the court, shooting the threes and grabbing the rebounds, running down the court, shooting the threes. That's exhausting. I think everyone listens to this podcast. Have you ever played a fast-paced basketball game where you had that one fool or a few fools or fools on your team. All you just do is run out, shoot, and you had to rush and rebound the ball, and then run it back, and and both teams are doing that's exhausting, man. That is absolutely exhausting. You know, you gotta slow the game down, and I just don't like how this game is being ran. I don't like how the young players that's like in high school, middle school, even college. I don't like how they're being operated. You know, 'cause they're so reliant on the athleticism that we're forgetting about everything else that actually matters, and especially now that we're moving into a world settings, right? They're out there mastering the skills. They understand team basketball. They know when to relax and pick up the pace. You know and I think the NBA, the American basketball, we lost a lot of our ways. I mean, I am not a big fan of the star players that we have today at all. You know, they're a bunch of complainer, whiners. They don't go to practice. They don't study the game. They don't run any plays on the court. They don't listen to the coach. Um, they're just terrible examples of superstars. Starting with the LeBron James era, you know, and I think over the past, let me just say, like almost a decade now, good decade, almost a decade. We just been seeing a lot of you know terrible personalities, terrible stars, all these injuries, and you don't know why they're even injured or what the injury is. You know, all these people taking breaks, but yeah, they're getting paid $300 million, and getting paid more than ever. But yeah, we get all these privileges now. That we have all these privileges, we decide to take a break, disrespecting the players of the old that put a lot of work into the game so they can have this opportunity today. You know, back when the beginning when the game first started, guys that were playing in chucks, they still had to go to work outside of basketball. They're traveling with buses. They had to deal with racism and all this other stuff. And they fought hard to get the game where it's at today. And now we have these ungrateful ass superstars want to complain and shit. They gotta go. They got to go. You know, the grind is not over. We still gotta fight and put more and gain more. You know, and now we're coaches now. Now, yeah, Michael Jordan, being an owner. He sold the team, but he was the owner of a team. You know, next thing you know, we're gonna be international. We have a chance to have own stadiums in the overseas, and next thing you know, it's just gonna be a World Cup and not just the NBA trophy in
Hold on,
America, but it's
hold
gonna be a
on,
world thing.
hold on. I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the NBA Finals. Are you the world champions or are you the NBA champions? That was a big debate.
Well, it's pretty much NBA champion because you can't say it's world because the whole world got to be involved in it. And it's like soccer is the World Cup. That's because every nation is playing for the cup. You can't really call it world if you're just only in America playing for a trophy.
Hold
The
on,
whole world got to participate. Yeah, go
hold
ahead.
on. But when you bring the best players in the world together in one league, the greatest player in the world in one league, how is that not the world? When you have every player around the world in one league playing for one championship. So I would sit there and say that the Olympics probably, but I don't even want to talk about the Olympics. I want to talk about the NBA, is the world or not. When you have the best players in the world that come together, you got the best of the best in the entire world. How is that not a world champion when you have the best in the world?
Because the best is joined in one country. It's the ownership of those best players in this country. They're playing for this country's team, and
No,
they're
they're
not
not.
playing for it.
They're not playing for
Yes,
this
they are.
country's team. No, they're not.
When you all 30 NBA teams in this country,
No,
it's
that's not
not
true either.
world.
That's not true either.
It is.
No, it's not.
It
All
is.
all the teams are in this country. Are you sure? I'll put 100 on that right now.
All teams in this country. Well, teams
Put
is
100 on
outside
it.
this country.
Put 100 on it.
No, I'm not putting no money. No. No.
Because you know you're full of crap. Not all teams are in this country. That's
No,
not true.
I'm not putting money on it because I have things to pay for.
Because I'm right. You know I'm right.
No, I mean I really have things to pay for. I don't have that. I don't have money like that.
Okay, I can wait till you get money. Okay, we can do a future. Future. You ain't gonna pay me today?
No.
Why? Like I said, you ain't gotta pay me today. I'm not even gonna ask you for you. When you get money, you got enough money to throw away. Put 100 on. I'll put 100 on it.
I'm not paying no one nothing right now. That's not gonna happen. There's no any words that anyone can say for me to be betting anything. I'm not in that position right now.
Okay.
I'm watching my money.
Right. You know what? All right, then that's fine. Because you know what? I won't even tell you. I'm just gonna let everybody else. If anybody and share this video too. Are all NBA teams in the U.S. are all in this country? Put it down there.
Yeah, you're not understanding World Cup. So, for instance, all countries will have to meet in a location and play for the World Cup. That means all China team, Africa team, Europe, Mexico, wherever, they're all in one location playing for the cup, and wherever wins, they take that cup back to their home country. No one's taking the NBA trophy into their country. It's not happening. Just because we have a sprinkle of a few international players, that is not making the World Cup. That doesn't mean that we just gather just a few their best talent into one league.
You gather the best in one league. The best.
The few.
No, the best. It don't matter if you're the best. You got the best in the world in this one league.
Okay, you got the best one European player on some team.
And he's the best European player.
That's not a World Cup though.
But that is the best European player that you can produce. The top.
It doesn't matter if they're the best or the worst. That's not a World Cup. What World Cup is the Olympics? That's the world.
Yes, that's the
Olympics. That's the perfect example of what worlds is.
But
when you look at soccer,
can you call yourself the best in the world when you don't have the best in the world playing on your team?
It's the best in the world because it's pretty much the only thing happening.
Yeah, but they're not the best in the world. There's like if you look at most of the teams in the world, none of them can compete with majority of the NBA players. If we're talking about the best of them. You put the best NBA players on one team to go play any other team out in the world, they're gonna smoke
them. Yeah, because we've been there long, yes.
No, because we have the best in the world here. We have the best in the world here.
Yeah, for now. Remember, basketball is new to every other country. We've been on this shit. It's just like soccer.
No,
It's
that's
just
not
like
true.
soccer. Soccer is new here, but all the whole world has been on it. That's why.
No, I don't think that's
That's
necessarily
why
true.
the players on
No, I don't think
the
that's
best
necessarily true.
players.
I don't think that's
The
necessarily
best
true.
players is on the other country's team. They're not on our team.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily true. Just because we had a bad team does not mean we weren't in there for a long time. Just because we could smoke all the time and nobody gives a fuck about soccer does not mean we have not been involved in that a long time. Same thing with basketball. Basketball didn't start here.
Basketball didn't start here.
Basketball did not start here.
You're saying basketball didn't start in America?
Did not.
Where did it start then? Like, good. Where did basketball originate? It's Springfield, Massachusetts, in the U.S. from 1961 to 1939.
What sport was invented in Canada? Canada invented sports: lacrosse, basketball, 5-pin bowling, rain tie, and wheelchair rugby. Basketball was actually created in Canada, but the first game was played in the United States.
All right, so the game is created in Canada, and the first game is okay. Cool.
There you go.
Okay, what to do is not true, but it still doesn't take away the fact that NBA is world. It's not world.
You just said NBA. You said NBA is the world. I'm keeping that in there. Absolutely.
World means the whole world playing. I'm not talking about this country. I'm not talking about just two countries. I'm talking about the whole world.
The world is because you have the best in the world in one league. The best.
Yeah. When world is not just one league, it's the whole, all the leagues within the world.
But when all the best players in the world are in one league, how is that not the world's best?
The world is the best players in the world, not just.
And they're all in one league. And they're all in one league.
Just because there's no NBA seasons for the whole world like that yet. So let's say all continents on this planet had an NBA in the NBA season, and then the best of the winner of the championship for each continent, they go play out and play for the world, right? They're all getting paid the same. You think all those international players we got is going to play for us, or they're going to play for their home country?
But that's not the point. The point is you still got the best players.
That is the point. Because they got their own league. They got their own league. You think Giannis is gonna play for America when he could play for home?
He does. No, Greece does have a league and he plays in America.
Huh?
Greece has a league, but he chose to play in America.
But they don't count right now. That's what I'm saying. The only one that truly counts is the NBA.
So if they don't count, then why is it a world game if they don't count?
No one look at the Greek league and compare.
So then why is the NBA a world champion if they're not looking at them?
Oh my God!
Because the best is here.
When you look at a game like soccer, you're not just you're comparing all the players within the world. All the teams within the soccer team matters. None of those teams matter. But there's only the NBA team that truly matters.
But that's why it's the world matters. Because, like you said, the NBA is the only. Remember, the NBA teams are the only ones that matter. Because the best play in the NBA.
No. You know, everyone in the world, everybody matters. That doesn't apply for basketball.
That's what
no, I said all the teams that plays basketball outside of America, they don't count. They don't matter. It's not the same like soccer where everybody matters, right?
All right. Well, I gotta get going.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get going because I can say I got some things to do, but like I said, I would love to
Yeah, go
continue
ahead,
this.
man.
I would love to continue this conversation, this debate. Absolutely. Maybe
Hmm.
if we remember it, we'll do it on the next podcast. It depends on your schedule. But
Yeah, for sure.
with that being said, I just want to say, hey, we're back here on YouTube. You know, I want to thank
Yeah,
B
we're
for being
back,
on
you
this pod.
guys.
Come on, Paul, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just repeating what you're saying.
Okay. So now we're back on YouTube. So again, yeah, we wanted to build everything up. We did lose a lot of our subscribers. I mean, granted, we didn't have a lot, but still, going from 31 to 17 hurts a lot.
Right.
But at least we're back here. So with that being said, yeah, I want to thank B for being on this podcast. I definitely appreciate it. Again, this was just one of those ones that was just a pop-up one. I'm glad to do it. I'm glad we're back. I'm glad to have these conversations. It was a great one. Got to get out, got to get off a lot of my feelings about what's going on. I definitely appreciate it. Got to tell you what we're about, which is good. I mean, hopefully this is the last time until probably next year that we kind of talk like this. Because hopefully in January, if we do talk like this, it's just more about what's new coming to the podcast because the goal is to make changes. But anyways, with that being said, and once again, like I said, I want to thank B for being on this podcast. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for coming on at a short notice and
Yeah, no problem,
doing this podcast with me and updating people and letting YouTube know we're back.
we are back, you guys.
Yep, and we don't plan on going nowhere. Wherever I've always said it, wherever you want us, we will be there. That's just what it is.
Exactly.
So we're going to now we're back on YouTube. We're going to be on Rumble. We're on various different podcast platforms. And wherever else I'm okay. The one platform that we're not really on anymore because we can't live stream anymore on there is Wisdom. So, which is sad because I really did like the Wisdom app, although that was just more me, not the whole entire podcast. But and Jane, well, I don't want to say the one who came on there, but yeah, but I mean, but anyways, with that being said, I mean, we had a fun podcast. It was definitely a good one. Definitely good to kind of let the feelings out. Hopefully next year, plan for next year is that B will take over a podcast. So stay tuned for his episode. That's going to be interesting.
I'll play with you.
Yeah, it's cool. And once again, all the links where you want to find us at will always be down below. So you always check that out. And beyond that, you know what? You got any last words, B? Now that we're back on YouTube.
Yeah, guys. Peace out, you guys. I will get my YouTube channel going. I just had to think of a name for it. I think I finally figured it out. So now I just gotta put it together. So hopefully by the next podcast or by the end of this year that I'll have that YouTube channel going and stuff like that. So, but besides that, peace out and see you the next time.